Seriously, Bud is brought to you by OmniSend. OmniSend is a top choice for email and SMS marketing on WordPress, perfect for WooCommerce shops. Easily connect with customers and send out awesome campaigns every day. We'll be back in a bit to tell you about our other friendly sponsors. Hello, my name is Bree, and welcome to Seriously, Bud, a podcast featuring an unexpected conversation with someone from the WordPress community. And now it's time for our host, my dad, Bud Kraus.
Thank you, Bree. You know, I had so much fun last time speaking with Eve and Adam. I thought I would do this all over again. Now, I'll be back at the end to give you my thoughts about this week's episode. It's number 101. So here we go. Pam, Aungst, Cronin, welcome to Seriously, Bud. You've got to tell me about glamping. Okay, I've never asked anybody about glamping. I know you're a big glamper. Am I right about that?
Yes, and obviously glamping is just mushing the words together of glamorous camping. So it's not roughing it by any stretch of the imagination. It's either in some type of RV or like a cabin, tiny home type of a thing. But it is in the woods, and the majority of the time is spent outdoors. However, indoors in the RV or the cabin, you have every modern convenience. You have heating, air conditioning, microwaves, and Alexa, and everything.
And so my cousins just went on a safari in Africa. Could you go glamping in a safari in Africa? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Does that make any sense? No.
I would doubt it, but you never know. I bet Airbnb would have something along.
They have described what that safari adventure was like. Now, everybody always says it changes your life and all that stuff. Yeah, I guess if you were like looking at lions 2 feet away from you, it would change your life.
In a terrifying way, yeah.
Yeah. So where do you go glamping?
So not far from where I live. So I live in Morris County, New Jersey, and I own a couple of campsites. It's interesting. It's like a property owners association. So it's not your typical campground, but it's in Sussex County. It's a campground, but it's like everyone owns their own campsite and keeps their RV or their cabin or whatever there permanently. So it's cool because you have the same neighbors all the time and you make friends with people on your street and stuff.
And you go there a lot.
In the summer, yeah. It technically doesn't close, but there's no water from November 1st to April 1st. So don't really go up there then. Maybe we rough it for a weekend here or there just to get out of the house.
You mean in a tent?
No, or what's basically a tiny house up there with, like I said, every modern convenience except running water in the winter. So for the most part, it's a spring, summer, fall thing.
And do you rent this out at all? No.
So I do, because this is actually how my husband and I met during the summer.
Oh, yes. We've got to hear this.
You wanted stories.
Stories is what we want, yes.
So my husband and I are a pandemic love story. We met 2020. That summer, everybody that did own a campsite pretty much stayed there all summer because it was the safest place to be. A lot of us were either not working or working from home. And so he and I and a few others on our little street in the campground just really spent the entire summer together. We all knew no one else was going anywhere, so we didn't have to worry about social distancing. We were this tight-knit little friend group. We would have different people cook at their sites each night, and we just had a blast. And he and I were across the street neighbors, and just through that and the friend group ended up getting to know each other really well, finding we had a ton in common, blah, 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 happily ever after. But that means that, so I had actually owned 2 campsites next to each other, and he was across the street with his one. So when we got together, we ended up with 3. And so we did rent out the other 2 on Airbnb for a while. It was cool. So it helped us to pay the bill and keep the extra place so our friends and family could use those when they wanted to, but help cover the cost. We did pause on that, though, because RVs are not exactly made for high traffic usage. They're like the toilets are plastic, the countertops, everything's plastic, or like the walls are as thin as cardboard. And so they got a little beat up. And so we decided to pause, maybe sell one and keep one kind of a thing. But we did learn a lot. And actually, the Airbnb business model, we'd love to do it again with an actual log cabin or something that's like a little more sturdy. But yeah, that's the story about.
Did you ever take an RV across the country? Did you ever do one of those kind of things?
No, I would love to. Yeah. And so that's cool. So the one that he had that was our main spot now it's more like a mobile home. It's like a tiny house that you don't tow anywhere. But the ones that I have across the street, we could tow them if we wanted to. We haven't yet, but we could.
Yeah.
And that's a bucket list thing, is to just take one of them and go one day.
Because a friend of mine, we talked about this years ago doing it. And then when we looked into it, oh my God, there's a lot of work involved here.
It really is, actually.
These things don't take care of themselves. This is not like a movable hotel. And then he says, I don't think I want to do this, but I would still love to do it in one way or the other. I think it's just great. No.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Probably. So my husband has a job in the utility industry. He started when he was very young. So he actually can retire in about 2.5 years. Wow. He probably won't that soon, but he's definitely looking at doing like maybe an early retirement and then do some things and then start a second career type of thing. So that's probably when we'll hit our bucket list item of traveling the country in an RV.
No, you are, I hate to say this because you don't look like a New Jersey girl, but you are a New Jersey girl. And I say this because my daughter, who is the announcer of Seriously Bud, she is a New Jersey girl in sight and sound. She looks like she's from here. You don't. Why is that?
I couldn't tell you.
And you don't sound like it.
Back in the 80s and early 90s, I probably did look like I was from Jersey.
Okay.
Why I never picked up an accent, I don't know. Some people actually tell me I do have an accent, but not strong. My husband grew up in Queens. He has got some accent.
Where in Queens? Where did he grow up in Queens?
College Point.
Okay.
And he's got some strong accent. And when he moved out here to North Jersey with me, he got immediately nicknamed in the neighborhood as the King of Queens.
Now, going back to him for a second, we got to zero in on him. So your relationship grew gradually.
Gradually, yes. But I would say more accelerated than a typical dating timeline because of the COVID environment and spending all day, every day together. It's not like when you date someone, you see them once, maybe twice a week for a few hours.
So you were a little fast track here.
Yeah, in that sense, yes.
When you first saw him, were you interested in him?
No. I actually was like, oh my God, I heard his New York accent. And I was like, oh man, am I going to have some troublemaker as a neighbor?
Where did you go to school?
I grew up in West Milford, and then I did my first year of college at William Patterson. And,
okay, you really are. Jersey. Wow.
Yep,
yeah,
indeed.
William Patterson, right.
Yep, indeed.
Tell me about William Patterson. What kind of school is that?
I only did go there for a year, and then I took a break and ended up finishing my degrees online over the course of many years. But yeah, I didn't love it. It was just, I grew up in the woods, so.
Right. And William Patterson is it's a commuter school. Am I right about that? Largely? Yeah.
Largely, yes. Nice. I did stay in the dorms for a bit. I hated that so much that I turned myself into a commuter for the rest of it.
And what did you get your degrees in ultimately?
So I have a bachelor's in business administration, and then I went on to get the master's in business administration with a focus in marketing.
Okay. And where did you get those online?
Regis University. So it's actually a real school in Denver, Colorado. I actually went and walked in my graduation, but this is when remote learning was an early thing and there wasn't too many kind of quote unquote real schools to choose from. And I liked that they were a real traditional school, the real campus, real teachers and everything. They just had early on figured out the distance learning thing. So I got both my bachelor's and master's from Regis University.
And did you ever work for anybody? You sound like the kind of person that left school and go, I'm on my own. I'm freelance. Let's go.
I probably should have made that leap, but no, I did work for my first job I was there for about 10 years. And then I did a short, 1.5, 2 year stint at another company after that. And then I spun off and started my own company. So in that first job, it's funny, I started as a secretary, and I think they still actually called it that back then in the early 2000s.
You're not that old. Come on. Don't tell me you use an IBM Selectric too, right? Are you going to tell me that?
To use a what?
IBM Selectric.
Is that the typewriter? Yes, I used a dictaphone, a fax machine, and a paper cutter, and a green ledger for accounting. Yes, they were
but you didn't use a Royal typewriter. Okay, that's
I don't remember the exact type, but yeah, but it was funny because they were a very old school company, but they were trying to modernize. So I literally had one foot in each world. I had a desk in front of me with a computer and all the modern stuff, and then I was spin my chair around, and behind me was my typewriter, my dictaphone, my green ledger book,
and a pile of papers,
cutter, and a fax machine, paper. And I had to do everything both ways because they didn't trust the computer.
You really were caught in between analog and digital, literally.
Literally turn my chair this way, digital, turn it around that way, analog. And I had to do both.
Yeah. And what kind of company was this?
There was a water and wastewater manufacturing and treatment equipment company.
Oh, gosh. I interviewed John Penland, who, and by the way, you can mention anybody's name in the WordPress world because I will use that in social media. Anyway, John Penland, who is the CEO of Kinsta, I interviewed him, and his early career was in selling stuff to, I forgot exactly what it was, equipment to wastewater, I don't know,
Like
management.
treatment facilities.
Treatment facilities, right.
Yeah.
Like cities all around the country. This was way before he would ever know about Kinsta technology and stuff like that.
Interesting. It's funny because wastewater equipment actually led me to WordPress. I never said that quite like that, but now that I think about it, I can connect those dots quite directly.
Doesn't that happen to everybody, Pam? You're on the wastewater and then you go, oh yeah, WordPress.
That actually happened, but I'll tell you what happened in the middle.
Sure.
So I'm living this dual work life where I do everything digital and analog because I don't trust anything on computer yet. But they're trying hard to modernize. So they were like, we need a website. Figure out how to make us a website. I'm like, all right, I'm a complete nerd. I've been playing with code on Commodore 64 since I was 6. And like, I started making websites in HTML the moment we...
Hold on. Stop. Hold on. Don't tell me GeoCities for you too?
Oh, yes. Indeed. I still have my GeoCities website on a floppy disk. I still have it.
Lord, do you have any idea how many WordPressers started on GeoCities? It's really amazing.
Add another one to the list.
Yeah, I just did. Wow, that is so amazing. Okay, so back to, where are we? Back to
okay, so I was tasked, as still formal title being secretary, I was tasked with building a website. And I had started coding in HTML for fun the moment we got dial-up internet. So I was like, yeah, totally, I can do that. So I did make a plain old HTML one at first. And over time, I then was like, I literally sent an email when I launched it to everyone in the company, like, we're live. If you build it, they will come. And then I was like, real quick, nobody's coming. So how do you get people to come to a website? So I start self-teaching about all of the marketing tactics. And that's when I encountered WordPress and the idea of content marketing and a blog and how we can't just have this static website that does nothing and it offers no expertise. This is how you get found. And so that, along with learning other like Google Ads techniques, stuff like that, I started to actually learn how to drive traffic. And so I used WordPress to make the blog. And that's how wastewater led me to WordPress.
Now, what year was this?
I started that job in 2001. I built the website pretty much right away. I probably didn't start with WordPress until, I'm going to guess, around 2003, 2004-ish.
Pretty early.
Yeah, maybe 2005 at the latest. I was definitely rock and roll, because by 2005, they asked me to add an online store component to it.
What?
Yeah.
What did you do?
I used some open source thing. I forget what it was at this point. But yeah, and then and it sounds weird, right? Because these are like giant wastewater pumps and stuff, not stuff that you sell online. But it was the controls, the electronics, like the sensors and the panels and stuff that say when there's a power outage or there's a high temperature or a water leak, those electronic components.
You and John Penland should get together and talk. You guys would be, that would be very interesting to see the two of you talk. Go ahead. Right.
What sort am I trying to say? WordPress and wastewater. That's a real catchy episode.
It, right. Of course, I can see the connection.
So that's what I was selling online. And then it really became mission critical to drive the traffic. And so I really tripled down on the blog and all the tactics to get the traffic to the blog. And yeah, that's when I entered the WordPress world.
Do you go to WordCamps and stuff? Besides WordCamp Montclair, New Jersey, have you ever been to WordCamp US?
Hey there. We'll get back to the show in just a moment. Seriously, Bud is made possible by Pressable. They make managed WordPress hosting simple. Your sites load fast, stay online, and you get 24/7 expert support from people who actually know their stuff. No downtime drama, no endless tech headaches, just hosting that works. Whether you've got one site or hundreds, Pressable keeps things smooth and secure so you can focus on your business. Check them out at pressable.com/BUD. And finally, by the WP.world, a great way to see who's in the WP world and what they are up to. Find out at the WP.world. That's right, it's the WP.world. and let others know what you're up to, too. Now, let's get back to the show.
Yes, I actually, I had a little WordCamp addiction for a while, and I went to them all over the country.
Oh, you did?
After I went to one, I was like, this is amazing. And I started going to them all. Then I started speaking at a bunch of them. I did speak at US one year. And so I was really just all over the place, meeting all the amazing people, loving every minute of it. But then after the pandemic,
we don't know each other, which is so strange, right?
After the pandemic, I never went back out again. Other than WordCamp Montclair. I just really don't travel anymore. Not that I don't want to.
Is it because of the pandemic?
No, not that I don't want to. It's
You're just tired of it.
I guess it was a chapter that I enjoyed, and it was a very high energy chapter of my life.
Yes,
and then after the pandemic, I realized I can market my business virtually. I can obviously keep going entirely virtually. I really haven't, not just the WordCamps, but like any kind of in-person networking, I just really haven't gone back to.
In your case, you'll explain what you do in a second, but your audience, your market is not people who go to WordCamps. Am I right or wrong about that? Yes?
That is correct. However, that is the people that do go to WordCamps are what I call my strategic partners. So they're like obviously web design agencies and developers, and they are people that get asked about SEO and marketing and vice versa, because we don't do any. We can whip up a quick landing page on WordPress if that's what you need, but we're not full-blown web designers, developers. I refer that out. So it creates these very synergistic relationships that are mutually beneficial. And so that's what I really loved, is I didn't have to feel like I was selling myself, because I wasn't selling myself. I was just getting to know people who were complementary to what I do. And if I liked and trusted them, I would recommend them, and vice versa. And so it was really good for business in that sense. But it was also just a whole lot of fun. I was going to say a swear word. I don't know if you're...
Oh, no, we don't do swear. Andrew Palmer says no, we don't.
An ton of fun.
Yes, he says you can't swear at Bud's show. That's one of the rules.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think I've sworn once. It's amazing. Now, you say we. How many people do you have in your SEO operation?
So it's more than just me, but not a huge thing. I describe us as like a small boutique agency. There's like a handful of us. So it's me and a few others.
Warning. Danger. We're going to talk about WordPress for a second.
Seriously, Bud?
Took you a little while. Okay.
I was saying it for... funny one.
You can use it. You can use it at another time. You can bring it back, so don't worry.
Okay.
I'll let you do another one. Okay. What was we talking about? Yeah, we're going to talk about WordPress for a second and what you do. I think we know already. But how long have you been in the SEO field?
I guess you could say since about that 2005 point where I had to, in my professional life, seriously start driving traffic to that online store that I built.
Did you go to SEO conferences? It was a field in 2005. That's for sure.
A little bit, but a lot of it was just self-taught, just reading and testing and trying, and it was trial by fire. Like I had to get traffic going to this website that I was now responsible for. So I evolved at that point from secretary to e-commerce marketing manager. So it was now like my job to drive the traffic.
And as a business, you had to learn pricing, how to do obviously all the projects.
Yeah, it was great
pricing,
experience. Yeah, inventory management and everything. Like shipping logistics. Like I basically learned how to run an e-commerce business from the ground up, but it was someone else's.
Oh, now, when you're saying that, it was somebody else's business. But when you were on your own, there's no shipping or anything. It's just the work that you do.
Now,
right?
Yeah,
obviously. Yeah.
But it was nice to have that background and get that experience running an online store like 360, like in internal operations, external. There was more than just the marketing.
And do most of your clients, I'm assuming, they have you on some kind of retainer that you just keep billing and billing until they can't take it anymore? No, I mean,
until they can't take.
Well, whatever.
No, until the ROI is so good that they can't say no anymore.
So you can just keep billing and billing.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
A lot of them, yes. But we do one-time projects also. We do, especially when someone's having a new site designed and they want us to architect it for best SEO friendliness. But then there'll be a couple months before they launch it. So we come in, we do the strategy and the auditing, and then we'll be on hold, or that might just be it. That's okay. We'll also do a lot of forensic audits, like what happened. Why did my traffic just fall off a cliff? I need an analysis done. Yeah. So it can be one-time projects mixed in there as well. But the ongoing is when, it really works, because SEO takes time and you got to stick with it. And
I give you a lot of credit. I could not do what you do. I have no patience for this. I have no tolerance. I will tell you straight out, I hate it all. Okay. I hate SEO. Go away. Don't bother me. I'm fortunate because I don't really do SEO. I write for my own whatever. I know all the principles involved. And when I get hired to write for other companies, generally I'm on my own to write something. We discuss it, but it's not keyword research. That's not I just wanted to get away from writing for Google. And that's not the right approach. It's right for human beings, and Google tag along and figure it out. So that's the way I look at it. And I don't like to write boring stuff as much as possible. Like the stuff that I write for me, I think you have to entertain people. You have to make things funny or whatever, or try.
Oh, absolutely. And that's absolutely necessary now with the fire hose of bland, generic AI-generated content that's hitting the web every day. Almost immediately after ChatGPT came out, Google said, we're revising our EAT acronym to now it's EEAT. So
yes,
they used to tell us EAT, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness is what you had to demonstrate. They immediately tacked on a new E, which is experience. Personal, real world, firsthand human experience is what they want you to talk about in your copy. It's really the only way to rise above the generic crap.
I am no expert in marketing, but I do know, and I think let's tell the audience that I heard you speak recently. In fact, I have to tell you a little disclosure that when I went to hear you talk, I also was auditioning you for Seriously Fun. I wanted to see how you might work out. So that was partly one of the reasons why I went. And I came in from a long distance, 50 minutes, to hear you speak. And although I had heard you speak before, do you know that a couple years ago, you spoke at WordCamp Montclair, and I was peppering you with questions that you were laughing about. So I'm sure you don't remember. Who can remember? But I thought about that. Anyway, so you did pass the audition. But you did talk about personal branding, if I recall, right? I think you did. And how important personal branding is in this era. And I've been just doing that without realizing it for quite a while, because what else do I got but me? So,
yeah, it's incredibly important. And even if you have a company that is more than one person, a personal aspect to your branding is still it always has been super effective, but I'd say it's downright required at this point because of all of this AI crap that's out there. People are craving some element of humanity in everything, and they'll react to it.
And storytelling is what I love. This is what this is all about, storytelling. I like to listen to people's stories. I've always been that way. And so this podcast is, what I do.
Yeah. And that's what people should do with their content. You mentioned dry, boring writing. Writing for SEO now requires the personal element. If anything, AI has forced SEO to become more human than ever before.
Wow. Interesting. Yeah. It's not a contradiction. It's the truth.
Yeah. It sounds like a contradiction, but it is the truth.
Okay, enough of this WordPress SEO business. Okay. So you like to travel? Yes? Oh, no, you said no. Okay, but...
No, I do like to travel. I haven't traveled in the RV yet across the country, but no, I love to travel, and recently just went to Ireland for the first time. My husband has a lot of family in Ireland, and that was super awesome, and it gave me kind of the itch to explore more of Europe. Yeah, no, definitely. We've got a lot of travel bucket lists, places we want to go.
Okay, where do you want to go? Let's have it.
So I found out recently through Ancestry DNA and genealogy research that I'm quite a bit more Irish than I was ever told. So
really?
I obviously have the German in my family, and Polish and English. I knew about those. But I
hold
never
on. Polish, stop. There's WordCamp Europe this year in Krakow, Poland.
Is it really? I did not know that.
Oh, get out of town. You don't even know that it's in Poland?
I didn't.
Lordy. All right. So I'll see you there in early June.
That's on my list so basically I want to visit all the places that I know I have roots in. So now I find out that I'm a lot more Irish than I ever knew, plus Scottish and English, and then German and Polish. So that's like my highest bucket list.
So you have no excuse. Pack up the laptop and let's go. We're going to Poland. I see. And have you ever been to a WordCamp Europe?
No.
Oh, you got to go.
I can only imagine.
So much fun.
They're all so much fun. So that I just have extra layers of
I cannot
awesomeness,
wait.
I bet.
I'm ready to stay up for 72 hours. It'll be party-thon. It'll be just so much fun. Because I did go to Athens, Greece a couple of years ago.
Okay.
It's off the charts. It's just so... First of all, there's 1 million people. And about maybe 25% or so are Americans, and the rest of them are all over the world, more so than in WordCamp US.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've gotten to know them and stuff. Oh, I just cannot wait. It'll be so much fun. Now that you know it's in Poland, you'll go. Yes.
When is it?
Yeah. Early June. June
Early June.
4th, 5th, 6th,
Okay.
7th, something like that.
I think I could pull that off.
All right. So maybe I just applied to speak, and I applied to be on the media team. So
Very cool.
I will get there. We're going. We're going on this big, humongous trip that I'll tell you about later. And that Krakow is just a little slice of it. So
Wow.
great.
Awesome.
Yeah. Now, where else? Do you want to go to, like Asia, Africa?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see like Japan. I definitely want to see Australia, New Zealand. It's just, there's a lot of places. Hawaii and Alaska. Those are parts of the U.S. that are quite exotic. I've seen a lot of the U.S., but not those. So those are definitely.
You have to come back to Somerville, New Jersey and spend a little. Maybe you will sometime. Who knows? It's a beautiful town.
That's totally doable.
To meet your husband, right?
Yeah.
What does he do? He's in utilities.
He's
right?
in utilities.
Right. He's about to retire. Soon
Maybe.
enough. Yeah. Okay. So is there anything else you want to tell me about yourself? That I covered everything, right? Soup to nuts your whole life.
I mean, we definitly hit upon the highlights of it, for sure.
When you were in high school, college, did you have boyfriends?
Seriously, bud? Seriously?
What about?
That one deserved a seriously, bud.
It certainly did. I totally agree. That is absolutely the right place. Okay. So you're going to answer the question, are you not?
Of course.
Okay. All right.
That's a chapter of life I'm glad is over. I literally have nightmares about being back in high school.
Well, hold on. Did you have friends in high school?
Of course, yes. I wasn't like mega.
Course?
I wasn't one of the popular kids, but I had the tight-knit group.
I had no friends.
Knit group of friends that actually a couple of them I am still friends with, like super close friends. Like we're basically like family.
Yeah, but I didn't have any friends in high school, but they're my friends now. It's so bizarre. How did that happen?
I would say we got closer after high school than we were in high school.
You ever go to any high school reunions?
No, actually, my class didn't end up having one. It was like, because Facebook was so much of a part of our lives at that point, we had all united already. And so there was actually a Facebook group that was trying to organize one, and nobody really cared. We had all seen each other on Facebook already.
Okay, so we did our 50th a couple years ago, and it was so much fun. And I was one of the organizers. And if you had told me 50 years ago when I was graduating that I'd be one of the organizers, I would have looked at you like you had 8 heads.
Right.
No way. I could not wait to get away from those 8 holes. See, I didn't swear. I could not wait to get away. And now, no, I'm still,
you
I'm
couldn't
there.
pay me to go back to high school. You really couldn't.
Oh, no, me either.
No, it was horrible. I got good memories, but just like the awkwardness of that time of life and everything, it's just.
I would go back, but I'd want to go back as the person I am today, not the person I was in high school.
There you go. Exactly. I would like to go back to having that little amount of responsibility, but as an adult.
Exactly.
To take care of myself.
All right. So never the boyfriends and all that stuff. Did you go to the prom?
Yes, I went to my senior and junior prom.
All right. So did you ask him out?
Honestly, I don't remember. I do remember going to Seaside after the season.
Whoa, what was Sleeside?
You haven't heard the Seaside Heights nicknamed as Sleeside?
No, I've only lived in New Jersey like 50 years. So
really? Oh my God, that's crazy. That was our nickname.
I've lived here since 87.
Wow. And you've never heard the term Sleeside?
No.
Seaside Heights, which is,
yes, I know.
But it was...
Speaking of all that, do you go to the beach?
Not that often.
Yeah.
I actually,
you're far, right? How far away
more
from the Jersey Shore?
Actually, the closest point would probably be like Sandy Hook, and that's only about an hour and a half, depending upon traffic. But I don't really do day trips. I do often will spend like a week down in Wildwood.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't done that.
How about Cape May?
Yeah, Cape May's gorgeous. Love that.
You know who likes that? Courtney Robertson. Do you know Courtney Robertson?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. So I've interviewed her. Go to my website. You go listen to Courtney Robertson.
Okay, cool.
And she likes that area a lot. We go there. We go to Rehoboth Beach. And we also go to Asbury Park a lot.
Long Beach Island, too.
Yeah.
And I love Island Beach State Park. That's probably my favorite spot.
What is it called?
Island Beach State Park.
I don't know that.
So it's right opposite of Sleeside. If you go over the bridge and you would go left to go to Seaside Heights, You make a right. You then drive through Seaside Park, the nicer half of
Okay.
Seaside. But then you keep going until the end of the island, and it's Island Beach State Park, and it is just gorgeous. It's like you
Really?
feel almost like you left New Jersey. It's just so clean and beautiful.
Oh, why
You
would I
can
want to
drive
do
on the
that?
beach there. You can drive on the beach. You can camp on the beach. It's
Right.
a lot of stuff you can't normally do. So I love it there.
You could sleep on the beach.
Yeah, you can. You can get a permit
Really?
to camp
Wow.
on the beach. You have to
Is
sleep in
that
your
so?
car.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
so you have to do like a tent in the back of a
Yeah.
pickup truck or something
Right.
like that. You can't, because of the wind, you can't set a tent up on the
really?
stand. But you can do a campfire and sleep in your car.
Can you just sleep on a sleeping bag and with a billion stars all around?
No, I suppose you could, yeah, if you wanted to. And oh my God, the sunsets and the moonrises out there are amazing. If you go all the way to the tip of the island, you can watch the sunset on one side and then turn around and watch the moonrise on the other side. It's awesome there.
Pam, thank you for doing this. We have come to that point in the show where I'm going to ask you, who do you suggest I have on a future episode of? Oh, you got a good eye. You're smiling. Who do you
I'm
suggest?
smiling because I'm like, you probably either have done or will have these people in your queue already. But I think Bridget, you've spoken to Bridget, right?
You mean Birgit?
No, not that one.
Who's Bridget?
Bridget Willard.
Oh, yes. Sorry, Bridget Willard. Yes, I certainly have. Bridget?
So, yes, she was. So her and I met on Twitter in 2011, I think. She was instrumental in, her and a few other girls that we all met on Twitter were instrumental in me starting my career. So I had to start with her.
Nice.
But another member of that group who's still active in the WordPress community is Carol Steven. Do you know her?
I don't know her.
Okay, that'll be the one then. That'll be my recommendation.
Okay, but does she have a good story?
She's part of my story, so
Okay.
she's special in my heart, and I know that I feel she has a pretty cool WordPress story herself.
No, wrong. That's the wrong answer. I don't want to hear that answer. The WordPress story. The life story. Forget
Well, of
about
course she does. Yes, of course.
Pam, thanks so much for taking time out of your busy SEO day, and maybe I'll see you in Poland. Hey, I didn't know that Pam met her husband, the King of Queens, while both of them were glamping campsite owners during COVID, lived in a dorm while attending William Patterson University and hated it so much she became a commuter student, had a job in her early career with one foot in the digital world and another in the analog world, is yet another WordPresser who gained her dev chops on GeoCities, and finally, like another WordPresser, took her path to WordPress by selling wastewater equipment. John Penland, are you listening? Did you? Until next time, thank you for your time.